Timmy Tumblesocks was a cheerful little boy with bouncy brown curls, twinkly blue eyes, and a big, gap-toothed grin that made everyone smile. He lived in a cozy yellow house with a purple front door, a polka dot mailbox, and a garden full of dandelions that loved to tickle toes. Now, Timmy had something very special about him. He could never wear the same shoes for more than a day. Not because his feet were growing too fast, or because he scuffed them up in muddy puddles, though he did do that sometimes, but because his shoes kept doing the strangest things. One morning, Timmy sat on the soft rainbow rug in his room, yawning and stretching. It was the kind of morning where birds chirped like tiny trumpets, and the sun peeked through the window like it wanted to come play too. "Mom, where are my green giggle boots?" Timmy called under his bed. "The ones with the squeaky zippers." His mom popped her head in, holding a bowl of banana oatmeal. "Did you check the coat rack, darling? Remember last time your boots were pretending to be hats?" Timmy giggled and scampered out. Sure enough, his boots were balancing on the coat rack like silly jelly beans. But when he reached for them, poof! The boots blinked once, yes, blinked, and then zipped themselves up and bounced away down the hallway. "Shoes don't run away," Timmy laughed, chasing after them. Except in Timmy's house, they did. Mom shook her head with a smile. "Try the new pair in the blue box, sweetheart. Granny Pip left them by the door yesterday." Now that was exciting. Granny Pip always brought the most curious things. Once she gave Timmy socks that danced when he laughed, and a scarf that sang lullabies when it got windy. Timmy opened the blue box carefully. Inside, nestled in soft paper with little clouds printed on it, were the funniest-looking shoes he'd ever seen. They were bright orange with rainbow laces, and a big round button on the top of each one, shiny and red like cherries. The soles had swirls like peppermint candies, and the tongues had tiny stitched faces with smiley eyes. "Ooh!" Timmy breathed. "Hello, shoe friends!" He slipped them on. Click! The buttons lit up with the soft pink glow, and Timmy felt a tickle wiggle up from his toes to his knees. "Hee-hee! That felt funny!" He stood up. The shoes jiggled. He took one step. Tickle! "Ah! Hee-hee! Oh, that tickles!" Timmy fell into a pile of giggles, rolling on the rug. The shoes wiggled again. "Toe tickle time!" a tiny voice sang from his left foot. "Wiggly wobbly walk!" a high-pitched voice squeaked from his right. Timmy's eyes went wide. "Did you just talk?" The left shoe blinked its stitched eyes. "Of course we did. I'm Tizzy, and that's my brother Boop." "Hiya," chirped Boop. "We're your new tickle button shoes, made just for giggly feet like yours." Timmy giggled again, even though he wasn't trying to. "You talk and tickle?" "Oh yes," said Tizzy proudly, "but only the nicest kids get tickled by us. Granny Pip made sure of it." Timmy's whole face lit up like a lantern. "I love you already!" "Wanna play?" asked Boop, bouncing. "Only if we can run and jump and maybe not too many tickles at once," Timmy asked, wobbling. "No promises," both shoes sang. Timmy tiptoed across his room, snorting with laughter every time the buttons lit up and made his feet wiggle on their own. When he stomped, tickle. When he skipped, giggle. When he stood very still, surprise tickle, anyway. Downstairs, Mom peeked into the hallway and saw Timmy dancing with giggles, his orange shoes flashing pink and red. "Those must be Granny Pip's tickle button pair," she said with a chuckle. "I hope they don't tickle too much today. We've got to go to the library." "The library?" said Boop. "That sounds boring." "No way," said Timmy, still laughing. "The library has the best books and beanbags." "I love beanbags," said Tizzy. "Can we bounce in them?" "You'll have to behave," Timmy said, pointing at them. "No wild tickles in the quiet section." "Deal," said the shoes, though they snickered like they were already planning something silly. Timmy got dressed in his favorite yellow t-shirt with blue stars. purple corduroy shorts, and his rainbow cap. The Tickle button shoes shone like sunshine on carrots. When he stepped out the door, the flowers in the garden giggled. Or maybe that was just the shoes. "Adventure time!" shouted Boop. "Let's bounce to the books!" cheered Tizzy. Timmy laughed. "Let's go, my wiggly-woo shoes!" And off they went. One happy boy, two cheeky shoes, and a whole day of tickly-wobbly fun waiting just around the corner. Timmy and his tickle button shoes wiggled and giggled their way down Maple Lane, where the houses wore flower boxes like hats and the sidewalk had hopscotch chalk marks from yesterday's play. With each step, his orange shoes let out a quiet tee-hee or a playful spring. "You've got happy feet today, Timmy," called Miss Dabble from her porch, sipping mint tea and knitting a scarf with pom-poms. "It's not me, it's my shoes," Timmy laughed. "They've got tickle buttons." Boop puffed out his tongue. "We don't not tickle without reason," Tizzy chimed in, "unless we feel like it." And they both gave a cheerful buzz-whir and made Timmy hop like a popcorn kernel. "Whoa!" Timmy wobbled but didn't fall. "You two better calm your buttons or the library's gonna be all shh and tss." Soon, Timmy reached the tall red doors of Willowbrook Library. It was his favorite place, where stories lived and adventures waited on shelves. The building had soft golden bricks, windows shaped like open books, and a doorbell that chimed like a xylophone. Inside, the library always smelled like lemony paper and cinnamon bookmarks. Mrs. Oliver, the librarian, was dusting the giant globe by the entrance. She wore round spectacles, a green sweater with little book buttons, and a pencil tucked in her gray bun. "Well, hello, Timmy! And what marvelous shoes you have today." "They're Tickle button shoes," Timmy announced. "Their names are Tizzy and Boop." Tizzy waved a lace. Boop blinked both button eyes. "Pleased to tickle you." Mrs. Oliver smiled kindly. "Well, I hope they know how to tiptoe. Today is Whispering Wednesday." Tizzy whispered, "We'll be as quiet as a floating feather." Boop said, "We'll be as silent as a sneaky sandwich." Timmy stifled a giggle. "That's not even a thing." "It is now," the shoes chimed. Timmy tiptoed inside, or at least he tried to. The library had 5 cozy corners: the picture book patch, the nonfiction nook, the chapter cave, the beanbag bay, and the brand new wiggly words wall made of magnetic letters. Timmy wanted to head straight for Beanbag Bay, but Boop had other plans. "Left!" Boop called out suddenly. "Right!" Tizzy shouted, and Timmy spun in a wobbly circle, bumping into a display of alphabet blocks that tumbled to the floor. Clatter, clunk, thunk! Mrs. Oliver peeked over her glasses. "Oops, sorry," Timmy whispered, quickly stacking the blocks back into a neat tower. "Shoes got twisty." Boop muttered, "We were just practicing our library waltz." "No waltzing in the whisper zone," Timmy warned. "Let's be calm bananas." "Calm bananas?" Tizzy asked. "Yep, still, quiet, yellow," Timmy nodded. "Peel good idea," Boop whispered. Finally, Timmy sank in his favorite green beanbag in Beanbag Bay, surrounded by shelves of bedtime stories and picture books about jungle animals and flying jam jars. He pulled out The Sleepy Seahorse and the Yawning Whale. The shoes twitched. "Ooh, story time!" "Shh," Timmy whispered, but as he began to read, "Tickle!" His toes curled. The page flipped on its own. Boop whispered, "Page turn assist." "Page turn disaster," Timmy hissed, trying not to laugh. He gently tapped both buttons on the shoes. "Can you please be still while I read? Just for 10 minutes?" Tizzy replied, 10 minutes of 0 tickles? That's like forever in shoe time." "We'll try," said Boop, sounding not very sure. So Timmy continued reading. The sleepy seahorse blinked slowly and whispered to the ocean, "Snort."
Pfft! Boop, Timmy muttered. Did you just make a whale noise? Sorry, said Boop with a hiccupy giggle. I got excited. Timmy closed the book gently. Okay, maybe reading isn't going to work right now. He stood up and made his way to the wiggly words wall. Colorful magnetic letters covered a giant whiteboard where kids could build funny phrases and tongue twisters. Timmy stuck a T, an I, and an M on the board. Boop added a P. Tim P? No, Boop, Timmy. Oh, sorry. I thought we were spelling timpani, like the drums. Timmy chuckled and built another word, bounce. Just then, a little girl nearby spelled banana. Boop perked up. Banana! That's our safety word. Why do we need a safety word? In case the tickles get too ticklish. Banana! Shouted Boop again, and with that, zrrp! Both shoes zoomed across the shiny floor. Whoa! Cried Timmy, sliding past the chapter cave, around the nonfiction nook, and right into the middle of the picture book display. A flurry of paper lions and giraffes went flying. Banana! Cried Boop. Tizzy tumbled to a stop beside a poster that read, Quiet Minds, Big Imaginations. Mrs. Oliver appeared, blinking behind her spectacles. Mr. Tumblesocks. Timmy looked up from a pile of fallen books, hair fluffy, cheeks red. Yes, ma'am. Perhaps your shoes need a story break. I may suggest a quiet craft instead. The sticker station has just opened. Tizzy and Boop whispered in unison, We love stickers! So Timmy carefully made his way over, one slow step at a time. The shoes gave a few small wiggles, but behaved better now that they had a task. At the sticker station, Timmy decorated a paper bookmark with glittery stars, a rainbow, and a teeny orange shoe with tickle marks. Boop looked at it proudly. I look fabulous. Me too. Add sparkles, said Tizzy. By the time the craft was done, the tickle button shoes had calmed down. They gave one gentle boop to Timmy's feet and softly glowed. Thank you for being patient, whispered Tizzy, even when we zigged when we should have zagged.
Timmy smiled. It's okay, your new shoes. We're learning. And the shoes snuggled his toes in a warm, tickle-free hug. After the giggly library adventure, Timmy and his tickle-button shoes strolled out into the sunny afternoon. The sky was blue with friendly white clouds shaped like bunnies, bananas, and, according to Boop, a very wobbly pineapple. Let's go to the playground, Timmy cheered, skipping a little as his shoes made soft, boingy sounds. Boop did a little jingle. Boop, boop, bounce. Tizzy hummed, Time to wobble, time to zoom, time to find a puddle, boom. Wait, Timmy said, slowing. No boom, just gentle fun, remember? Right, silly fun. The playground was full of kids laughing and running, swings squeaked in the breeze, a merry-go-round spun lazily, and the sandbox glittered like golden sugar. But right near the slide was a gigantic puddle. It shimmered in the sun and wobbled when the wind passed. Timmy's eyes lit up. Ooh! Tizzy gasped. Puddle! Boop whispered. The sacred splash zone. Before Timmy could even blink, zoom! His shoes zipped him straight to the edge of the puddle. Splash squish! Tiny raindrop ripples rolled across the water. A little girl with a red bow in her hair pointed. Hey, look at his shoes! They light up! They'd talk too, Timmy grinned. A boy with glasses stepped closer. No way. Yes way, said Tizzy. We're the Tickle Button twins, chirped Boop. Shoe extraordinaires. Cool, the boy said, eyes wide. Wanna play Puddle Hopathon? Timmy asked. It's our favorite. What's that? Asked the girl. Timmy grinned. It's like leapfrog, but with puddles. We'll explain, said Boop, glowing a bright cherry red. Tizzy added, Step 1, find the puddliest puddle. Step 2, line up. Step 3, jump with style. Soon, 5 kids were lined up next to the puddle. Timmy stood at the front, his shoes buzzing with excitement. "Watch this," he said. He bent his knees. Tickle! Boop let out a giggle zip, and Tizzy launched Timmy into the air with a whoosh. He flipped and landed with a giant splorp right in the middle of the puddle. Water flew in all directions like sparkly spaghetti noodles. The kids cheered. "You turned that puddle into a party!" shouted the boy in glasses. "Who's next?" called Timmy, wiping a raindrop off his nose. The other kids lined up, hopping and splashing in turn. Some wiggled midair. Some squeaked when they landed. Timmy's shoes danced with delight. "More puddle! More puddle!" Tizzy and Boop sang a hopping song. "Puddle, puddle, skip and bounce, splash until the raindrops count. Hop-a-doo and giggle loud, jump so high you tickle a cloud." Even the swings seemed to clap. But just then, a chubby squirrel scampered across the monkey bars, holding a tiny paper umbrella. A gust of wind blew, whoosh, and the umbrella flew straight into the puddle. The kids gasped. "My umbrella!" the squirrel squeaked. "Don't worry, we'll rescue it." "Operation Umbrella Splash!" shouted Boop. Timmy tiptoed into the puddle carefully. The water was cool and swirly. The umbrella bobbed near the middle. "I see it," Timmy said, reaching. Tickle! Ah! Timmy slipped, but instead of falling, Boop buzzed. "Wobble wings activate!" Suddenly, the soles of Timmy's shoes glowed pink and vibrated just enough to steady him. Tizzy guided him left, Boop pushed him right, and with one careful scoop, he got the umbrella. "Hooray!" cheered the squirrel. The kids clapped again. Timmy's handed the umbrella back. "Here you go, Mr. Squirrel." "You're a puddle prince," the squirrel declared, bowing with a squeaky sneeze. Then, all at once, the sky gave a little rumble. "Uh-oh," Boop muttered. "Was that a cloud burp?" Tizzy blinked. "It's a storm!" The wind whooshed louder and little raindrops began to fall. Plip, plop, plup. "Time to head home," called a grown-up. "Grab your coats." The kids waved goodbye to Timmy. "Thanks for the hopathon. You made the puddle the best part of the day." Timmy waved back, water dripping from his sleeves. "See you next time." He turned to his shoes. "Okay, team, let's go." But the shoe stayed still. "Something wrong?" Timmy asked. Tizzy's button glowed a soft blue. "Our soles are soggy," Boop added. "We might have too much tickle water inside." Timmy gently tapped both buttons. "Deep breaths, shoes." Beep! Zerped. Drrrr. The shoes hiccuped out a puff of steam, and little squirts of water sprayed from the heel vents. Boop coughed. "I feel damply dizzy." "Better?" Timmy asked. Tizzy wobbled. "Yes, but we need a dry towel and hot cocoa for the shoes." Timmy giggled. "Let's hurry back. Mum makes cocoa with marshmallow moons." Together, they trotted down the puddly sidewalk, feet squishing and buttons glowing with every step. As they walked, the rain picked up, but it wasn't cold or scary. It was soft and warm, like being kissed by sleepy clouds.
"Rain is just sky tickles," whispered Boop. "And puddles are laughter on the ground," added Tizzy. Timmy smiled. Maybe, he thought, shoes should be silly sometimes, especially when they turned plain puddles into playground parades. By the time Timmy reached home, his socks were squishy, his shirt had a leaf stuck to the sleeve, and his tickle-button shoes gave a final sleepy bloop with every soggy step. Mum peeked through the polka dot curtains as he clomped in through the front door. "Looks like someone had quite the puddle parade." Timmy giggled. "We had a puddle hopathon. Tizzy and Boop made everyone laugh, even a squirrel." The shoes wiggled in agreement. "Splashiest fun ever," said Boop with a hiccup. "We may have collected a small pond inside our soles," added Tizzy, blinking her soggy eyes. Mum smiled. "Then it's time for dry clothes, warm toes, and hot cocoa. Triple marshmallows." Triple? Timmy's eyes sparkled. Timmy tiptoed to the bathroom. Well, tried to tiptoe. His tickle button shoes made a soft squish-plip-squash with every step. As soon as he sat on the stool by the sink, Boop sighed. "Okay, team, we're officially tuckered out." Tizzy drooped. "The tickle buttons are low on giggle juice." Timmy gently unbuckled the rainbow laces and lifted each shoe one by one. "Thanks for today," he whispered, drying their orange bodies with a soft towel. Boop's button blinked sleepily. "It's what we do, Timmy." Tizzy yawned. "Tickles today, snoozles tonight." He set them gently on the floor mat to rest and put on his fluffy bunny slippers, the ones with wiggly ears and soft noses. In the kitchen, Mum had already made 2 warm mugs of cocoa, one for Timmy and one, just pretend, for the shoes. Each cup had 3 marshmallows floating on top like sleepy clouds. "Thanks, Mum," Timmy said, hugging her. "Tizzy and Boop are resting now. They got very soggy. I can pop them in the sunroom later. A nap in the warm window will do wonders." Timmy sipped his cocoa and looked out at the rain. The puddles shimmered under the streetlights, and wind chimes on the porch sang a gentle, sleepy song. Later, after bath time and a fresh pair of star pajamas, Timmy tiptoed back to his bedroom. The tickle button shoes were exactly where he left them, clean, dry, and cozy on the fluffy blue rug. Boop was snoring a tiny mechanical snore. Zerp, hick. Tizzy's red button glowed softly like a nightlight. Timmy sat on the rug and patted both gently. "You two were amazing today." Tizzy blinked one eye open. "We liked the library, even the part where we knocked over the lion books." Boop rolled on his soul. "And the umbrella rescue was our best mission yet." "I think you're the silliest, most wonderful shoes in the world," Timmy whispered. Boop hummed. "And you're the best wiggly foot friend we could ask for." Tizzy yawned. "If I had arms, I'd hug you." "I'll hug you instead," Timmy smiled. And he did, gently wrapping his arms around the pair of silly shoes like they were stuffed animals. Then, knock, knock, knock. Granny Pip peeked into the room with her polka-dot umbrella, raincoat covered in buttons, and eyes that twinkled behind her round glasses. "Hello, my little puddle prince," she said softly. "I heard someone got the tickle buttons bouncing today." Timmy giggled and ran to hug her. "Granny, they were so funny. Tizzy and Boop made everyone laugh, even a squirrel." Granny Pip's smile wrinkled like a warm quilt. "They were made for a heart like yours." "Did you make them?" Timmy asked, eyes wide. Granny winked. "With a sprinkle of giggles, a pinch of bounce, and a button or 2 from my best jelly bean coat." Timmy looked at the shoes. "Will they always stay this tickly?" "Only as long as they're needed," she said. "Some shoes are for running, some for climbing. These are for laughter and bravery and being wonderfully you." Timmy climbed into bed, snuggling under his starry blanket. Granny Pip tucked him in gently. "Good night, my tickle explorer," she whispered. "Good night, Granny Pip." Boop whispered from the rug. "Night, night, Giggle Captain." Tizzy added, "Dream of hopafons and marshmallow moons." Granny Pip tiptoed out and turned off the light, leaving only a warm moonbeam shining on the rug. The shoes cuddled together, their buttons glowing soft red in the dark. And as Timmy drifted to sleep, he thought of puddles and parades, tickles and tumbles, and the shoes that had made the world just a little sillier and sweeter.